I'm Bruce McKittrick. I'm an antiquarian bookseller for almost the last 50 years, and I came in late college to want to be a bookseller, and I got advice to go to Rare Book School. And so it was the last thing on my list to go back to school and also to go to New York City. But I figured if it was my life, I would do that, and I went to Columbia, and that's when I met Terry. I took a course in the history of music with Don Kreml, and he and I have formed a friendship that lasts now. He's in his mid-90s, and we continue to exchange fun notes on music we've heard, concerts we go to, books that I turn up and describe, and I send him descriptions, and he's working on a long book on bibliography, and he sends me chapters to read in draft form, so it's really been a very rewarding experience. Rare Book School, I think, plays a very important role and a central role in the development of booksellers and collectors in almost all fields now. When Rare Book School began, had a very limited course set of course offerings, as Terry was running a kind of experiment, and the growth of the offerings is really has brought almost every aspect of book collecting and book selling to Rare Book School. Digital, social media, every subject from paleography to modern firsts and historical studies. It's really a remarkable contribution and a resource that people I travel quite a bit in Europe, and I sell European books. And in Europe, I regularly receive questions about Rare Book School, which is pretty amazing for a program that began as Terry's dream. He's probably touched several thousand people at all levels of the trade. I've taken courses, Wendy's taken courses, my wife, all of my colleagues, my employees have taken courses. I have two colleagues who are returning again this year for more courses. So it's an incredible resource. I have several collector friends who have actually had their collecting transformed by attending Rare Book School, opening up to them other aspects of the original materials that they approached from a subject point of view. They now understand they can understand as important material objects. And that appreciation, we now have often really rewarding conversations, as I'm quite interested in a material object. These friends, these collectors who have attended Rare Book School classes can now really engage their material in a completely new way. And it's really fun to start a conversation and have so much common ground, even when we might be talking about objects produced, written several centuries apart. I think that's really one of the things that Rare Book School has done, is bring collectors and booksellers together for multiple conversations on multiple levels in multiple venues. People meet each other socially, we meet each other in academic settings, we meet each other in trade show settings, and those conversations are, I think, almost always enriched by the participants' engagement with Rare Book School. Terry's impact in all forms of research into original materials has been unparalleled. He has brought people from all worlds, the digital world, the world of modern firsts, the people who are producers of books, people who are studying only typography, so people working in 15th century studies, in contemporary literary subject studies, in material culture, into one venue for shared experiences, and then all of the participants in Rare Book School return to locations around the world to share their knowledge with their colleagues, to better the institutions where they work, to improve their and enrich their book collecting, to speaking from the trade, to do a better job in describing our materials so that the historical aspects are preserved. His work has become the benchmark for book historical studies. And as I mentioned before, the interest of Europeans in this kind of class coursework is remarkable, because they take a completely different view. Anglo-American bibliography, Anglo-American book collecting is different from the approaches taken on the continent, typically divided by national interests and predilections, and Terry's work has crossed those boundaries. It's unimaginable Rare Book School's been so lucky to have that transition between the Terry's skills and what he brought to the project, and what Michael's skills are and what he's brought to the project. Terry was probably one of the 3 best teachers I ever had. Excellent teacher. So many teachers can't give away what they perceive to be precious, and Terry can share. Terry can really, people who, whenever somebody goes and they're taking book illustration, when they come back, they know how to look at a picture. And we have tons of resources in several languages to help us evaluate exactly what we're looking at, because sometimes it's tricky. Period, you'd write at transition periods. Is that an early mezzotint? What is that in 1680? Where are we with this? Is that a dry point? Are we looking, how do we do that? And when they come back from book illustration, used to be descriptive bibliography and book illustration, but I think he still does book illustration. But they're done.